Yeah, there's loads of really good things you can do with the Google devices. Probably probably the most useful things is like getting it to control like your lights and your plugs and things like that. So you can easily on Amazon or anywhere you can buy like the little kind of smart plugs, or you can buy kind of the light bulbs. And if they say they're compatible with like Alexa or with OK Google, um, then yeah, they're great basically because it's really easy setup. You turn them on, you go into the Alexa app, you kind of go through add device, and they just get added like automatically. And once you've got that, you've then got the option of kind of turning the lights on and off on your phone, or you can obviously you can use your voice and get Alexa to do it. And yeah, they're brilliant. It kind of we sort of like we don't kind of recommend it for anything that's kind of too important. But yeah, but if it's just things like kind of yeah, lights and sockets. The sockets are brilliant because you can plug a fan into it, or you can plug like lamps in. So then yeah, once that's in, just tell it to turn the socket on, and whatever you've got plugged into it, yeah. So yes, I think there's like really good settings. Pretty much all the companies have got really good at doing these now. So it doesn't matter whether you've got like an Apple, like an iPad or an iPhone, or whether you've got an Android, Samsung kind of tablet, or whether you've got Windows. They're all getting pretty good at getting the accessibility features built into them, and it's just a kind of question of knowing where to look. I'll show you an example on the iPad, but this one just happens to be an iPad, but there's very similar things. So yeah, so if you get the iPad, but it could be an Android or a Windows device. They've all got something similar. But on the iPad, if you go into the settings app, and on the left hand side you get the options here, and in here you'll see an option called accessibility. And when you click on accessibility, that then gives you kind of different categories. You've got like a vision category, like physical and motor. So this physical and motor has got lots of stuff that help if you've got like poor hand function. So if you go into this touch section here, and then the top one here is called Assistive Touch. And if you go into this one, like once you turn it on, I'll just turn it off first. Once you turn it on, then this little dot appears here. And this dot is like a floating dot, so you can move it wherever it's kind of out of the way on the screen. But then when you tap on it, it gives you like loads of different options. So for example, one of them is like the home button. So these are great if you can't kind of press the physical buttons on the screen. So if you find it difficult to press that actual home button, then you press the home button here, and it kind of does that home button. Soon you've got this like kind of device menu. So if you click on device, then it brings up options of things like the volume buttons or the side lock buttons, like those kind of things that you might find it hard to press. You can do them through the screen. And this whole menu, you can customize it into loads of different things. Like this custom one's a good example. You can put on things like if you want to zoom in or zoom out like that, then you can train like something to replicate that button. So then you just need to press that and it will do the zooming in or the zooming out. Then there are like other settings in the same place. So if we go back into the settings, and again, accessibility, and back into this kind of the touch section. So I'll show you from the start. So accessibility, the physical and motor, and then in the touch area, we've also got this thing, touch accommodations. And so if you go into that one there, it's got a couple of things that are really useful. So one of them is this ignore repeat option. So this is useful if someone's got like a bit of a tremor and they tend to tap the screen a couple of times. Then you can turn on the ignore repeat, and then this is a time, so you can set this time, so you can change that to be a different length of time. But whatever you set that to, it will ignore like the presses afterwards for the like 0.3 seconds in this case. So yes, it will ignore those. So that's really useful if someone's got a tremor. And the other thing that's quite useful here is this hold duration one. So if someone tends to do like accidental presses, then you can set it a certain time period again, like you can move it up and down. But that time period, it won't recognize a press until you hold it for that long. So if we turn that on, so we should find now, like if I try and go into the settings app, because I'm pressing it, I haven't held it for 1.5 seconds, so it's not doing anything. And then if you can see there's a circle that goes around, then if I hold it for long enough, once that circle goes all the way around, then it recognizes the touch. So yeah, so that's kind of quite a useful one as well for accidental presses. So yeah, it's good that these settings are all kind of like built in, so they're really good. And the other one that is quite good in this accessibility bit, again, so it's in accessibility under the physical and motor bit, but you've got voice control here. So if we go into voice control, so I've turned it on here again. It's built in. The first time you do it, it will download some files. But once it's turned on, you can see like next to the Wi-Fi signal, there's like a tiny little grey button there. So that shows that it's running, but it's not listening. And then when you tell it to wake up, that turns into a blue one. And once it's blue, then it's listening to everything that you say. And you can do kind of like sort of basic commands of what's on the screen. So we'll give it a go. So wake up, go home, swipe left, swipe right, swipe left. And you can see at the moment it's set up so it's got all the different numbers over it as well. So if we go, for example, I'll go 24. Go to sleep. So you can kind of see that you can set it to put those numbers. So if you're not quite sure what you want it to tap, you can just tell it any number and it'll tap on those things. So that is like if someone's got like a good voice but they can't use their hands, it's like, yeah, that's excellent for getting around, or like, you know, at times when your voice is strong. So yeah, that's those kind of things. And yeah, like I say, those settings, they're built into all the different systems. This thing that we've like come across like just recently, but we found really good, is a thing called, there's a couple of them. There's one called SwitchBot and one of them called FingerBot, but they're the same kind of thing. And it's like, I'll show you, it's like a little kind of like motorized sort of finger kind of thing. And the idea is that you stick it on like a light switch, for example, it could be any button. You stick it on there, and then on your phone you can press a button and the button gets activated and it physically presses the light switch on and off. So if you can't reach the light switches, then you can do this all from your phone. Works for anything. So it could be like if you can't turn the computer on and off, you can put it on the on button on the computer, all kinds of things like that. So yeah, I'll show you how it works. So this is one. So this one's the FingerBot. But like I say, we've got FingerBot or SwitchBot. They're pretty similar. And so once you get the device, you kind of install the app on it, and then you can just go into the app, and then when you press the button here, that's going to make this little finger move, and then that can, if you've got that over a light switch, that'll turn the light switch on and off. So I'll just press it now. You can see it does its little thing. So yeah, if that was a computer switch, a coffee machine, a light switch, then it would turn that on and off. Okay, so this, you can like, it comes with like a sticky pad, so you stick it there, like it holds it firmly over the light switch, and then when it does its little thing, and there you go, it turns the lights off. No, like, so the specialist stuff that we provide, so we've got like there's NHS services like across the country, and like it now probably like last sort of 5 or 10 years covers the whole country, and it's funded by NHS England, and it covers the assessment, it covers the equipment, it covers the ongoing maintenance, like assessments like as years go past as well. So yeah, so that's all completely funded, so long as you kind of like meet the criteria of the services. So it's kind of like you have to be cognitively able to use the system, you have to be physically able to use the system, and you have to. It's open to people with a disability when they're kind of at the point where your hand function is so good that you're having difficulty using the controls in the house, like a TV control or a remote control, that kind of thing. But yeah, if you qualify for the service, then yeah, everything's completely funded. Yeah, all the way. England is completely covered now. If you want to know where your nearest service is, there's a website, assistivetechnology.org.uk. So yeah, if you go to that, then there's a list of all the different services, and there's also a postcode finder, so you can put in your postcode and it will show you where your nearest service is. Yeah, so yeah, obviously our services and like the services like ours around the country, but there's kind of like different places you can go. So we're quite good at like providing equipment that will help you that will help you kind of access the computer. Like other ones that are really good is AbilityNet is a brilliant resource, and they're kind of like a little bit different because they'll provide like more general support around computers and tech and stuff. So they like if you've got a computer but you're not sure how to set it up or how to get your printer working or like how to send emails, that kind of stuff, then they'll come and give you like really personal support like around what you're trying to do on the computer. So I think yeah, that's a brilliant place to go to for that kind of support. We're great to come to for kind of like what kind of software and equipment and mounting stuff can you get to like help you physically access it. So yeah, they're great. There's if you're trying to do gaming and you want to access like your Xbox or your PlayStation, then again we'll look at that. But there's a charity called Special Effect who've been doing that for years, and they're great. So that's another great resource. So yeah, those kind of things.